Hello, DSDP members. I am James Lawson, Chair of the Downtown San Diego Partnership. Thank you for joining us for the next episode of Convos Over Coffee, where we get to know DSDP members from a variety of industries, how they're adapting, and what excites them about the future of downtown San Diego. Today, we are chatting with a good longtime friend of mine, Diana Puetz, the Senior Director of Public Affairs for the San Diego Padres. She also serves as a member of our executive committee and our board of directors. So Diana, let me please be the first to say welcome and allow you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your role with the Padres.
Hi, James. Thanks so much for having me. As you mentioned, I'm the Senior Director of Public Affairs for the Padres. I'm going into my 5th season next year with the organization. And in my role, I oversee our government relations program, as well as dabble in comms, business comms, and community relations.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for everything that you are doing. Congratulations on the fantastic season and everything that you all have been through, which we'll get into a little bit today. It's November 9th as we record this. So just in general, how are you doing? How are you doing personally? I know that outside of the Padres, you have a family, you have 2 kids. How are things going?
Things are going well, all things considered. Personally, I have 2 young children, a 7-year-old, and doing some distance learning with a pod. So that's taken up quite a bit of time, but generally doing well. Like I said, just all things considered.
I only have 1 child, so I can't imagine with 2.
Well, yeah, I had to move them out today. They're out, so I could do this interview.
Just looking back, I mean, the first lockdown really hit mid-March. I distinctly remember we were supposed to have the Kev Talk, and the next day was going to be opening day. So just looking back now, can you talk a little bit about the impacts to you and to the Padres since March?
It's really been unprecedented. As the rumblings started happening just in general in the community about COVID, we had reached out to the county. This was back in early February, to start really working through a plan on how we would be able to execute the season, given what information was starting to come out. So I think at that point we were prepared to move forward, but obviously things started unraveling very quickly, and the organization really had to pivot to, similar to what other companies have done, where all of our employees started working from home on a day's notice. And then we were really just working initially to figure out what contracts we had, how all of that would work out, and then trying to grasp the enormity of the impact that the shutdown and not being able to move forward with our season would have.
And you guys have been able to pivot very well, and you're doing already some great events. I played at the Links last week. Before we get into that, just looking back, at what point, if you remember, did you say to yourself, we're not going to be able to have fans at all this season?
I remember the day very well. It was, we were working, and I was in constant communication with the county, and really had reaching out to the state about what they were projecting for our season. But it was the day that Tom Hanks got COVID, and I believe it was the Kings. There was one of their players tested positive, and sports just came to a halt. I think it was really that day where it sunk in, at least for me, that we likely weren't going to be having a season as we'd known a season to be.
So surreal. I remember the exact time you're talking about. Well, going back to you guys pivoting, talk about that, what you've been able to still do with the park in a safe and socially distant manner, and what you see going ahead, looking at 2021.
So obviously we just wrapped up our season. We were fortunate enough to be able to host the American League Championship Series. We worked very closely with MLB on that to be able to execute it pretty much flawlessly with no major incident. That took a lot of work, but I think what a lot of people also know is that Petco Park and our team is really known for our events, large events. We had, going into the year, we were planning on doing Kaboo, and we were going to have 2 very large concerts the week of Comic-Con. the Thursday and Friday before Comic-Con. So concerts aren't allowed yet currently. We're hopeful that guidelines will come out soon so that live entertainment can resume. But our entertainment team is phenomenal, and they've really come up with some innovative ways to continue having events so that we could continue, employing people and providing something fun and entertaining in a safe manner for everyone who loves Petco Park. A few examples of that are our drive-in graduations. We actually had approached the county on that idea of being able to do drive-ins so that kids could have some sort of normal graduation where they walked on stage and actually were handed a diploma. So that was the launch of our events. We did of our drive-through events. We've done several movies since then. And just a concert series, the first concert in California at Petco Park was a drive-in, and it was for charity. So we've also, as you mentioned, we've moved forward with the Links, which is a longstanding event, and we just wrapped up a Halloween trail, which was I don't know if you're able to take your son to it, but it was really cool, socially distanced one-way trail with 18 different booths where kids could trick or treat in a safe manner, and they got to take photos with characters, and it was by all accounts a slam dunk.
We weren't able to personally go, but I saw a lot of photos on social media, and it looked like a fantastic time.
Yeah, it was really cool. Thank you. It was the county was awesome to work with on that one as well, as we were putting together our safety plan to be able to move forward with it.
What was the Pitts family Halloween costume this year?
I was a flamingo, and Stephen was Ken. Ken, and the kids, Sophia was a panda bear, and John Parker was a koala bear.
Nice.
A little bear family.
Talk about family, or speaking of family, where are you finding hope? Where are you finding community? Given that we are all pretty social people, and we're just not having that part of our profession available to us right now.
That's been really tough. That's hit me really tough. I'm a person that thrives around being with my coworkers and working in a team setting. We've adapted well with Microsoft Teams, and I'll go into the office every once in a while as necessary. So I've just really ended up reaching out. I think, like similar to what a lot of people did, it reached out to friends that I hadn't connected with in a while, and just started doing more on the weekends with them, and really just tried building community that way, reaching out to people that I might have lost touch with over the years.
Yeah, some of those first Zooms with people you hadn't seen in years were pretty fun. It wasn't as fun after 3 months, but in March and April, there was
something's lost on there. As soon as everything reopened, those kind of went away. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I know the answer to the next question is a Padres home game, but other than that, what are you most looking forward to doing in downtown again?
Concerts. I love our concerts, and so hopefully we can move forward with Kaboo at some point. Comic-Con, one of the other events that it just didn't feel the same this year without it. I'd say are in the top two.
And the closing question is, I know we are drinking coffee right now, but your favorite drink, what do you wish was in your cup of coffee right now?
The Granite Grill makes amazing fall cocktails every year. And so I know it's a little early because we're filming this in the morning, but that would be nice.
I absolutely agree with you. Diana Puetz, thank you for doing this, and thank you for your involvement and the Padres' continued support of the Downtown Partnership.
I appreciate it. Thank you.